Hey guys, Prophet here. Welcome back to the channel, and on today's video, we are going to be discussing Phil's claims about the PlayStation 5 not supporting surround sound, and we're going to go into, of course, how he's wrong, and we are going to look at his setup, because I've figured out exactly what he's using thanks to his stupidity, and then we're going to fix his audio issue with PlayStation 5, because we know for a fact that he's going to really trash the PS5 version of Modern Warfare 2 basically over the audio. Okay, now what we're going to look at here is the video from the 19th that he had done during the pre-stream podcast. I was in Jad's chat or stream that day. I know Fantastic Mr. Sam was there. Shout out Fantastic Mr. Sam. And yeah, I got fucking triggered because, again, Phil not understanding how the technology works, just plugging stuff in and expecting it to work for him doesn't work out in the end because he never did any of the research, and then he just spreads misinformation and a ton of bullshit. So let's take a listen here to this video.
It's actually not the graphics at all. It's this. All right? And this is two different things in one. First of all, the controls. Absolutely. Having the thumbsticks in a different position, having a different style of thumbstick, and having a different feeling controller. All right? Right now, I am enjoying playing it on the DualSense. I'm having a good time with it. The haptic feedback is not overdone this time. I'm not accidentally getting melee attacks at all. I haven't gotten a single accidental melee attack. That's a good thing. Okay? So I'm enjoying it on that controller. All right? But maybe I'll think this one controls better. I don't know till I try it this weekend coming up. Okay? So we'll see. But the other thing, and this could be a very big factor, is the surround sound. Okay? On my PS5, because they made the boneheaded decision to remove dual audio output from the PS5. This has been a key feature of consoles ever since surround sound was added. Consoles have had dual audio out. Not the PS5. They removed it. What do I mean by that? I mean, the audio that's coming out of the PS5 can only come from one source, and that's it. If I tried to split it, like if I tried to take audio out of the back of the console and then also plug headphones into the controller, it cancels the other out. So why is that a negative? It's a negative because I'm a streamer, all right? And you guys need to hear the stream while I also need to hear the stream. So what I have to do, sadly, is split the audio signal. And by splitting the audio signal, you guys are getting stereo audio on the stream, but I'm getting fake surround sound. Essentially what's going on is I'm taking that same stereo audio you're hearing, and I'm having a Dolby Digital decoder device. This one right here. I'm having it decode fake surround sound. It's not true surround at all. It's simulated surround. I don't get the true surround sound that people would get if they're not streaming or capturing and they're just plugging their headphones into their controller. They're getting true surround sound. I don't get it. Okay? That's Sony's fault. It's a huge oversight. Sony apparently was cost cutting with the PS5 and took the feature out. It's dumb to shit.
Okay. It feels 100% wrong. Okay? The audio subsystem that Microsoft uses and the audio subsystem that Sony uses is completely different. Microsoft on the Xbox Series X uses what's called Windows Sonic Audio, whereas Sony uses Tempest 3D Audio. Now, these audio APIs and the audio hardware is not surround sound. It's considered 3D virtual surround. So it's like it's simulated audio. It's simulated surround. Okay. Now, if you plug in through HDMI, say you plug it into a home theater, then your home theater will decode Dolby Digital, surround, PCM, Atmos, whatever. Okay. The problem that you have with simulated surround, like 3D virtual surround, the game has to be coded to use the codec or the hardware. So what Phil is stating is wrong. Now, yes, Sony did disable the ability to use dual audio, but there are workarounds that can re-enable dual audio. Now, this piece of shit that Phil has here is what's called a Astro A40 TR or an Astro Mixamp Pro. Now, this is garbage. Okay, back when the PS4 came out, it was all right, but the stupidity that Phil has here is what it does is it takes a Dolby Digital signal using, we could bring up actual picture here. Now, right here, if you look at this, right, these two options. So you have your optical here on the left. Now, the optical would be using the SPDIF cable, or optical cable as I'll refer it to. That goes from the back of your PS4 or your PS5 and plugs into this device. This device then takes the signal and allows you to use headphones. Now, it'll be a simulated 7.1 surround sound. Now, this, it's not really an amp and it's not really a DAC in the sense of what an amp and a DAC does. But if you don't have like a headset that's capable of 3D virtual surround, this can help simulate it, but it's not very good at doing it. Okay. Now, also, this port here is pretty much underpowered for a good quality headphones. Now, this is going to get a bit technical, and I'm sorry if I lose you, but it will help you to understand, like, when you want to use headphones for gaming, it's going to help you understand what's best, right? And what's best can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. Now, this port here is very underpowered, okay? I believe the impedance on the headphones is very, very low. Yeah, so it's a 48 ohm impedance, okay? Now, it's okay, and I'll get into it a little bit later why there's better options at cheaper prices. But when Phil bought this, this was quite expensive. Now, it offers you a 48 ohm impedance, 2400 hertz or 24,000 hertz frequency, which is, that's pretty low for me. Like, I'd want something in the 40,000 hertz range, at least. 7.1 channel Dolby headphones surround. This is an issue. Okay, this is, if you want to call it false advertising, you can, because this device doesn't offer Dolby Digital surround. Okay, like it says right here, the Mixamp Pro TR features Dolby Digital surround sound processing and enables lag and interference-free delivery of game sound and voice communications. It's not Dolby Digital certified. Okay, you can't get 7.1 surround sound through a single, like, what is it, 3.5 millimeter jack. It just doesn't, that's not how it works. It's a stereo headset. Okay, stereo meaning 2-channel. So the 7.1 surround sound, you would need to use optical. Now, as I've shown here, this is optical in. So this is taking the signal and then breaking it down for stereo. Okay, what Phil is saying that what Phil thinks is happening is that it's giving him simulated surround sound. No, the other issue that Phil has, and we'll bring that up right now, is Phil uses this piece of shit toilet seat Neckphones. Okay, now the issue with these Neckphones is Phil is using the one from Xbox. Okay, he's using the one for Microsoft Xbox Series X and S. He doesn't have the PlayStation 5 one. Okay, for his PS5. He's using his Xbox. Now, it can work, yes, but because this is designed for Microsoft's audio system, it's only going to give him stereo sound. Now, this is trash, okay? If this was a surround sound headphone like Phil thinks it is, because it isn't, right? It's just a simulated sound. It would have to have speakers all around the neck here. Okay, and it doesn't. It's got one here and it's got one here. Now, within this system, they may have little tiny drivers. Now, these drivers in this headset are just trash. Okay, this is garbage. This is a garbage product. There's a reason why they don't really list what they have hardware-wise for these headphones. If you look at reviews online for these, they're really fucking bad. Okay, they're shit. You don't want these headphones. These headphones are trash. Now, Phil uses the excuse that, well, if he uses actual headphones instead of these neck phones, he gets ear infections. No, Phil. Okay, the reason why you get ear infections is because you're a dirty motherfucker. Okay, you're always sticking your fingers in your ears. You get out of bed. You don't take a shower. You pick your ass. You pick your nose, and you stick your finger in your ear. Why do you think you get ear infections? Like, seriously, Phil, you're a 40-year-old man and you don't know proper hygiene. Okay? Now, to enable the virtual surround, the 7.1 virtual surround 3D audio from these headphones, you have to plug them into the controller. Okay? Phil, on the other hand, is plugging this into his, that little Astro piece of shit that he has for his headphone conversion. Okay, now the way Phil has this plugged in, and I should have drawn up a diagram for you guys. So what he does is he runs an HDMI cable to his splitter, which then splits off to the capture device and the TV. He then runs the optical cable from the back of his PS5 and plugs that into the Astro Mini, the mini mix amp. It then goes through a 3.5 millimeter jack to the piece of shit Neckphones. Okay, so you can see where the issue arises as to why he's not getting surround sound. The PlayStation 5 was not meant to be used, or the PlayStation 5 Hori Neckphones were not meant to be used unless you had them plugged into the controller. That's the only reason it works on the PS5. You have to use that feature. Now, Phil can use that feature. We'll take a look at that right now. This is what Phil needs to buy. Okay, this is an HDMI adapter for the PS5. Now, what it does is it allows HDMI in right here, and then it allows HDMI out pass through with optical. So what happens is this device now does it all through HDMI. Okay, so all your audio is coming out of one section. Okay, this will allow him to get optical out, and then what I would recommend is buying this. Now, this is Creative Sound Blaster GC7. This was released last year, and the GC7 is basically just a amp/DAC for audio. Now, this works with the PlayStation 5. This works with the Nintendo Switch, I believe. Just bring up the specifications here. So yes, it'll support PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch. It will not work with Microsoft's Xbox Series X. Okay. Now, this is a much better amp/DAC. Now, Creative makes, like, a lot of people might hate Creative drivers. I've used Creative throughout my PC life. It's ever since they came out with the Sound Blaster 16. That thing was the fucking shit. Now, and I've had many DACs myself here. I had a G5. I had an X3. I'm currently using the X3, but tomorrow I have a new sound card arriving from Creative, an AE5 Plus Pure Edition, that I'm going to be swapping out my own audio system for. And I'll get into that a little later. Now, this DAC/amp offers some great features that Phil can utilize. Let's just bring up the specifications again. Now, what this offers is a 300 ohm headphone amp, which is excellent, fucking powerful. Now, you can get ones that are up to 600 ohm. The Creative ones, the X3 and the X4, even though they state they'll do a 600 ohm headset, they won't, because you can't get the power over USB. That's why this new GC7 has dropped back to 300, because this is what it can actually power through USB. Now, this will also do 7.1 conversion. It'll also do, see this right here, PS5 requires optional HDMI to SPDIF converter, which is an optical converter. So it can do all the audio processing. Now, what Phil needs to then do is buy a separate headphone. Now, for a good pair of headphones, you're going to want to spend a little bit of money. Now, I use a Sennheiser HD 650. It's a very expensive set of headphones. Let's bring them up here. Now they're an open cans, and they're an oval shape, so they fit the contour of your ear better, and they feel excellent on them. Now, I currently run these on my Sound Blaster X3 that I'm using. I got rid of my fucking Sound Blaster X5 Theater. That thing was just a piece of trash. I wanted to go wireless for more mobility, but I've used them for about, 2 years now? And they're just shit. Okay, for gaming and everything, they don't feel right. Now, these with my X3, when I'm playing like Doom Eternal, I can hear shells dropping, right? When I'm playing World of Warcraft, when I'm running by like NPCs and Ouroboros, I can hear them talking and whispering because I get those low, mids, and highs because it's a 300 ohm headset, right? Like this headset is insane, and it gets up to 41,000 hertz, right? 103 decibels, 300 ohms. So I get all that sound that you wouldn't get out of, like, say, like you buy their normal PlayStation 5 headphones. They'll do the virtual 7.1 3D surround sound, but they're not going to give you the highs, the mids, and the lows. They're going to just whatever type of audio, right? You can hear that rocket coming from over your shoulder, okay? Big deal. But when you actually hear the sound, when you actually hear the soundtrack of the game you're playing, when you have a proper set of headphones like these, then you're just going to enjoy them more. Now, you don't have to go and spend $650. I didn't spend $650. I got mine for about 500 Canadian. Now, you can get cheaper headphones. I would typically stay away from any type of wireless headphone unless you want to like listen to just like music while you game, like you're not into the audio. Like Phil harps on audio, okay? And that audio, he's wearing Neckphones. They're not going to offer any type of immersion in your game, right? Now, Phil also streams, right? Okay, but none of that audio matters, Phil, because you're not playing the game on your fucking computer. You're just passing it through using your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox. Now, I'm going to do another video here because Phil does have a DAC/amp sitting on his fucking TV tray there in front of him. We saw it in the video where Jasper was in the closet. And again, Phil doesn't have an XLR mic. He doesn't have high quality headphones like these or anything, and I have no fucking idea why he's using those headphones or why he's using that amp/DAC. Now, there is better options. What's it called? Shit Audio, and that's actually what it's called. Yeah, that's what it is. Now, Shit Audio is built in the United States. Now, these are some high-end amp/DACs, and they look fucking awesome. Now, if all you're doing is, if you want a game in stereo, like stereo headphones, like you're not looking for that 7.1 surround sound immersion bullshit, right? Or if you have a home theater like I do, you guys have seen my 120-inch screen. I've got a Dolby Atmos set up with dual subs, 15-inch subs. When I play games like Mortal Kombat 11, yeah, I have that plugged into the home theater. I have an optical HDMI cable that runs from my PC to my home theater, and then my home theater does all my Dolby Atmos. When I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11, I can hear like water dripping in the back. Like, that's true surround sound. Okay, you're not going to get that out of headphones, period. But something like this, like a Magni with a Magni Modi, is what you want to do. Okay, so you get that amp and you get that DAC. Now, doing something like this, like, you can see the price right away. You're looking at just a little over $200, right? And then you can go up from those, right? So you get a better DAC, right? And all this is going to do is this is going to power your headphones. You have your XLR inputs and everything, right? You have your optical. You have your USB to plug in. You have your right, left. These things are awesome. So if you like listening to music and you're doing podcasts and you're not really into the gaming audio, you go with something like this. Okay? This is insane. These products. I know people that have used this stuff, and it's just fucking nuts when you see how they have it set up. Like, look at this, the tubes and everything. These all light up and everything, right? And these are your op amps that you can replace. Right? I know a guy that has the Valhalla, and this thing is crazy, crazy good. Okay? Now, is Phil going to go with something like this? No, because Phil won't understand on how to use this, right? And this is not going to do like 7.1 virtual 3D surround. This is just going to do stereo. But the audio quality with a good set of headphones, a good set of cans, is going to be amazing coming off something like this. But you're going to have to pay for it. For Phil's setup, no. Like, Phil's setup is just trash, right? He's just there to beg for money, insult other YouTubers, slander game developers, and pretend like he knows how to play video games. Now, tomorrow on stream, we'll be laughing at Phil again. Heather P is going to come on. We're going to play some Fightcade. I invite anybody else that is going to view the stream. If they want to play on Fightcade, they want to come on Discord and chat with us while we laugh at Phil. Meth Bear is possibly going to make an appearance. We're also going to discuss the at-will employment fiasco that happened here on the 19th, where Snow Carl asked Phil if he could buy Phil and Kat tickets to the zoo, and then Phil came up with a whole new excuse about how they couldn't do it and blah blah blah. And we're going to debunk all the nonsense that we got out of fucking Phil from that stream. And then, of course, next week I'll be streaming again, figure out what game we're going to play. But I want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel again. I want to thank King Jad for helping me get to this subscriber count that I have, because he's been a great help with the channel. Again, I want to thank all my other detractor buddies out there. They make this just fun to do. And the community as a whole is just a great community. And I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, hit like. If you like the channel, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.